Good afternoon. It is the Wall Street Weekly Wrap-Up for October 21st, 2003. And I'm your host, John Newquist. And we had a moderately active week. Next week is a big earnings week. But let's take a look at what we got. Morgan Stanley came out with numbers. Beat by 7 cents. Revenues rose 2.2, which is good because banks had a lot of ones that did not increase revenue. The banks have been just tough. You can see it's just dropped after the earnings came in there. People picked up well. Investment banking is 26% down, but there's not a lot of IPO. Wealth management's good, so we're going to stick with Morgan Stanley. Tesla, again, revenues came up, only 8% growth. A lot of issues. The truck didn't come out, and it dropped, and it's been dropping. So you think about going down here. Will it drop below the key number of $200? That's what everybody's looking at because we're at 211 right now. And our indicators, what I'm looking at is gold. Look at this. It's coming up to 2,000. The trend line had broke, and now we're up above it. And how high will it go? Will it break over the $200 mark? That's what everybody wants to know. Copper, sitting at almost 2-year lows, under $4. The averages, we're down about 5%, and big component of Apple's not helping with 6 straight days of losing, which we'll talk about. But remember where we were about 18% for the S&P? Not so much anymore. It's at the 200-day moving average. So we follow our yellow line. Here's our SPY. Not good. Everybody's waiting. Will it break? Then we're going to get our recession. Remember, we called for the recession last 2 weeks, September to October. We might get it this month if it keeps on going like this. Been kind of like a chop. It goes down, up, down, up, down. Will it come down over here? And your support, you have a couple supports over here, here, and obviously here. But I don't think we'll get down that low. But we'll look. Save the money. You can buy a lot of stuff too. Netflix, we don't own it, but we just talk about it and we watch it. Beat by 24 cents. Revenue went up about 8%. Not so bad, But look at these ads. I mean, 8.7 million people added Netflix. Not dropped it, added. Now we went, what was it, 2 springs ago? It was dropping and everything else. But look at the people. They treat it like this is about a horrible quarter. I think it's been pretty good. So if you're going to buy, it's at this trend line right now. Not a bad price to buy in. But, they're doing well. Disney, not so well. RIVN, I just watch. Here we are. Auto stocks are tough. There's rumor we might settle the UAW strike. GM's got an offer on the table that's supposed to be good. Alexa, stop. So we're going to look at it. Amazon reached 10,000 deliveries for its fleet. Remember, they're going to use a lot of electric vehicles for their fleet. And, they go out locally, they charge them up, and they're going to save a fortune in fuels. That's why we own Amazon. But RIVN, it's kind of tough. It broke below a trend line. Never a good sign to buy. If you want to buy down here at the $13 level, if it gets down there, that's a good number to buy. Because they've got a solid customer. And I just watched the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They don't make a lot of news, but it's been an uptrend. And that's kind of a neat thing, when you look at a commodity trading platform. But I just saw this number here. Highest volume ever in September. Wow. They are trading a lot of, orange juice is crazy. It's at record highs. So all this electronic trading for all your commodities and everything else that they have, not a bad thing. If you're going to sit there and look at it, maybe you can try to nibble it around about 205 or so. But, it is a nice uptrend. Even in this one, nice slope uptrend. You're not going to get it at $150. But look at that's where the 200-day moving average. So it's $60 above it. Apple, 6 straight days. I always watch Kramer. When would he give up the ship on Apple? I think if it got down below 100, he'd call it a day. Just give it up. They're looking at 4 straight days of revenue. A lot of talk about, that tiptoe Jon Stewart's going to go because he can't get Apple to agree to do stuff on China. It's too hot for Apple. So a award-nominated show just going to close because, heaven forbid, you kind of pick on China. So this is an ugly downtrend and a lot of support numbers. This is what everybody's watching. 172, 170, 168. And if it breaks below those, then it's going to be ugly. Remember, a lot of traders are watching this 200-day moving average. And if it blows behind that, it could drop a lot. American Express, I would give this probably the second best financial. 13% growth. There's this and J.P. Morgan are the only ones I saw go double digits. So, if you think about it, it's good. When you look at it, you think, wow, going sideways, putting down a multi-month low. And, this is the market, and you can't, handle that sometimes. I mean, it just, pharmaceuticals, banks, food, consumer staples, all these things are at lows. And you just have to be diversified if you're going to beat the S&P 500. Because the quarter that it takes off, you're probably not going to bet on it. And again, we sold our Pfizer. We just swapped the health to another one with Novo Nordisk. The idea of Pfizer COVID revenues still going to be lower yet. I'm still surprised. Even though they got the RSV vaccine, it's just not enough to overcome and put an earning warning out. Or Novo Nordisk, they can't even keep Ozempic in stock. You go to the store and you have a prescription for it, you can't even find it. Boy, that's the stock you want to have. You can't even get it if you want it. It's kind of like the COVID shot way back when. But until then, have a good week. Next week is the big earnings. All our big tech stocks are coming out next week with a lot of big earnings. So I'll see you then. Have a good week.